Hi guys, welcome to the Man Utd Agenda. I'm joined by Bath Time and Mr. B. This is the Burnley preview. We're back in the Premier League and we desperately need some points. Let's go. Yes, man. Friday evening, and we're here to talk about Man United versus Burnley. I'm just guessing. We're at home, aren't we? It just came to me.
No, we're away.
Oh, we're away at Burnley. Okay, it changed everything. All right, Man United away at Burnley. It's tomorrow at 8 o'clock kickoff, which is a bit weird. 8 p.m. I mean, I've never heard of a game 8 p.m. on a Saturday evening. What's going on there? I don't know. I want to watch the boxing. It's clashing with my boxing. But you know, I've got priority. My priority is football right now. Bath time. How's your day been, bro? I know we only saw yesterday, but yeah, how was your day?
Yeah, annoying, to be perfectly honest. I'm meant to be working from home this week, and I got called in to go to the office, and I got laughed at because I went in my tracksuit, and I didn't realise that I'd have to be there all day. I thought it was for a very quick thing, and so I've been ready for an emergency football game all day.
Are you like on call or something?
No, it's just like someone made a very basic error and they all ran around going, oh, what do we do? And then the solution to that was call me and make me drive for an hour and a half to go and sort out these absolute... Well, I can't use any word that I'd like to on YouTube there. But apart from that, I'm all right. I'm really pissed off that tomorrow is an 8 o'clock kickoff. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to watch it.
So why is that? Why does it affect you? 8 o'clock? Are you going out tomorrow evening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have to. Unfortunately, when you live with a woman and you're in a relationship with them, they ask you to do things all the time and stuff.
Yeah. You agreed.
Yeah, well, one of them is like make sure the relationship stays good. So we go out like once a week, and that's clashing with Manchester United. So I've got a bit of an ecumenical dilemma tomorrow.
Guys, twist her arm. It's important. Mr. B, did you know it's 8 o'clock kickoff?
Yeah, I knew it was at 8 o'clock. That's a very inconvenient time, to be fair. I think they should have made it at 5:30. I'm not sure where the 8 o'clocks come from. I think there was one game already in this season. I think it was at 8 o'clock on a Saturday, to be fair.
Yeah.
But look, it gives us time to make sure that everybody's 100% fit for what's going to be a really important game.
And how's your day been, Mr. B? I mean, it's
Friday, man.
Fridays, yeah.
It's Friday, man. It doesn't matter what happened before now.
Yeah.
It's Friday. It's 2 days of not sitting down inside the van. Got my game tomorrow. So, yeah, it's all good, man. Looking forward to the weekend as usual.
Okay. Want to say hi to Solo, who's in the house. He's tuned in to watch us. Solo, hey, how you doing? Hope you had a great week, and it'd be great to hear from you soon. Big up to Vincent as well. He's saying hi to Solo, of course, and hi to us guys as well. Vincent, hope you're doing well, and I hope your keyboard's working well, because I'm reading out today. We've got Matthew Bassett in the house. Matthew, I always say this, but it's what's on the menu tonight for your takeaway? Because I know Friday
kebab.
Oh yeah, kebab. You're saying? I reckon Chinese. All right, for some reason, I don't know. Someone put soon come, and it was actually me, because we're a bit delayed today, unfortunately. But we're here now. So tune in, guys. Thanks for tuning in. DM Vlogs, how you doing? DM Vlogs, did you contact us today? I know you want to come on the show. You're more than welcome. All you have to do is get on Twitter and contact Man United Agenda. Message us, and we will respond ASAP and hook you up. It'd be great to have you on the show. Big up to Big T. Really good show yesterday, wasn't it, Big T? You had a lot to say, and interesting comments you made. Big T saying here, it's abuse bath time. Don't let it get to you, my brother. How dare they?
Couldn't agree more, Big T. Like, I how dare they? Exactly. They might just pay me, but how dare they?
It's all right bigging it up, but if they're in the background, you wouldn't be saying that. But yeah, sometimes we got commitments that we have to stick to. Vincent saying here, you need to show her the Man United flag where it says United, wife, and kids in that order. Woo!
Not sure that would help me, Vincent. To be honest,
Never do I.
Do not take advice from Vincent. Wow.
Vincent, you'll learn sometimes in life there's sacrifices that you don't want to make, but you're going to end up making whether you want to or not. And in the end, it works out a lot better than sleeping outside in your car. So
exactly. Next,
Word.
From a mobile phone in my car. Yeah. Full of luggage in the back. Big up to Black Bolt all the way from New York City. How you doing, man? The tune I kept thinking about, I don't know the name of the artist, the early 80s tune. Would it be there to New York City? I know it's crazy, but it's true. You know the tune? In New York City. That's what
yeah, I know. Oh God,
you know that
yeah, I
tune.
know. Yeah, I know the tune. I'm not going to sing it to you because it's not going to sound anything like yours sounded where I actually realized what the tune was. But I know what tune you're
It's
talking
a great
about.
song. It's a great song. I can't remember the artist or anything, but it just reminds me of being young, and I never knew what it was about, but I just didn't know New York City must be special, you know. It's like today I heard a song from Whitney Houston in the reggae version saying something about your love is my love is your love, and then she went on to say, if I should be homeless in Grand Central Station, and then you'll be there with me too, and talking about song titles with like New York City stuff. I'm sure Grand Central Station's in New York. Is that right?
Yes.
It is. Okay, yeah, I assume so. So New York gets a lot of shouts in song titles, and we can sit here all day and talk about song titles or songs related to New York. There's quite a few. Anyway, Vincent's saying here, how many times have I told you don't use the keyboard and use auto typer? Yes. Big T saying one does simply not expect man to do. Black Bolt saying Christopher Cross, that's it. Christopher Cross sings that song. Great tune. Yes,
There you
man.
go. See,
Yeah,
OMONDI. See,
Is that
you
the
got
guy
the hump.
that... Did he sing a song about like running away to Mexico or something?
I'm not sure. Maybe Black Bolt might tell you that, but he definitely done that song about New York City.
Yeah, well, we're playing like Nevermind the Buzzcocks tonight, basically,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Black Bolt saying tune. Yes, man. Tune. You know, we all flavors there. Song titles to describe Man United's start to the season. Anybody?
Wannabe,
You
Spice
did.
Girls.
Oh God. Yeah. We're nearly there.
Highway to Hell, AC/DC.
Yeah, good shout. Shall we leave this one for the end of the show? Let's think for the end of the show.
Okay.
Song titles, because you're too quick for us, Bar Time. You're going to name them all. Song titles to describe United's start to the season. We'll come back to that very soon. Big up to Andy Herbert. How you doing? Sorry, Box. Big up to you, man. A great question. And here we go. Vincent saying, you were on about veggie version of Whitney Houston. I bet you saying you heard Celine Dion's version of reggae. He's still supposed to say reggae. My God, Vincent. When I read this out, you make me look stupid. You know, why do you just? All right, you're on about the reggae version of Whitney Houston. I bet you could be saying you heard Celine Dion's version of Titanic reggae version. He spoke reggae and veggie and veggie version on reggae volume. Oh my God! Enough, Vincent. You're too much. Chris Cross will make you jump. Yes, that's the one. Oh, we got tunes coming in. Veggie, yeah, I know, Box. I know. Depeche Mode, just can't get enough goals. Great, Big T. That's a good one. And yeah, a bit of laughter there. All right, that's the intro over and done with. Don't forget, guys, song titles to describe Man United's start to the season. Here we go.
Oops. Sorry.
You've given it away now. All right, the first one. Let's get into this. We're playing Burnley away. Team selection. It's about news. I've got a bit of news here. Burnley, I don't know much about them. I don't know if anyone knows in the comments, but I know everyone on the panel is a bit stuck when it comes to Burnley. They've only got 1 point, which is a draw in 4 games. They haven't played 5 like us, but they don't really have many selection problems. Just the normal guys who are out, who have been out for a long period of time for them. So they likely they play their strongest team. For us, we got Shaw out. He's out for a long period of time. We know that. Luke Shaw, our left back. Malacia, still out. Wan-Bissaka looks like he's going to be out. Mr. B, you mentioned that about a couple of months, didn't you? You said hammy. We've got Anthony out, not through an injury, but we know why he's out. And Sancho is out as well. Now, Mr. B, you sent me a video of the press conference today, and the manager did talk about Mount and Varane, saying they've returned to training, but there's no real indication that they will be playing. And then talked about Amrabat as well. He may have overcome his back issue, and Maguire could be fit as well. So just going back to the press conference here and about team selection, he was asked by the reporter today about Sancho, and do you want to cover this, Mr. B? What he said about Sancho?
Yeah, his answer was beautiful and short. He's not available. He's not in the squad. The reporter asked him, will he play again, or does he have a future? And the Hulk just said it's up to him, and then swiftly moved on to the next question. I love it. These reporters are trying to cause a situation, and he's not having it. He knew it was coming. He's not brush it off. Everybody knows why he's not playing. So don't ask me stupid questions. He's not in the squad. You know why. And now it's up to him. So his job was done. Beautiful. Lovely. Love the way he answered that and just cut it off.
He takes the heat off himself and saying it's down to Sancho to whether he plays or not. That's basically what he's saying, eh?
Yeah.
I like that. Bath time. I want to come to you on this one because in the press conference, he was asked about something you've been talking about the last couple of days about scouting systems and the association Ten Hag has with his right-hand man. And the journalist today asked him straight up about it, the situation, saying there's a bit of turmoil, a bit of relationship breakdown between the scouting team and your right-hand man. Do you want to just elaborate on that a bit more for us, please?
So Ten Hag, following the footsteps of Fergie, is using a bit of nepotism with his son, who works for the DeVos agency or something like that, which also has Pep Guardiola's son in it. And the majority of our transfer dealings are going through them, which is raising a lot of questions. And we talked about the scouting department last night, where you could argue that there's a conflict of interests if your son is working for the agency you're doing most of the business with, and the scouts are not recommending players that are in the stable of clients in that industry, in that agency. Sorry, long day, innit? But I think Ten Hag handled it fairly well. Like, it was like in cricket, do they say straight bat or something?
Yeah, straight bat. That means steady, blocking. Protecting your wicket with a nice straight bat. Any questions fired at you, or any sort of attacks fired at you, nice straight bat, which means a nice secure answer response without taking risks.
Well, that's what he's doing. And I mean, you got to remember that Fergie once tore an entire press conference apart because they all said what's going on with Varane, and he was nearly throwing chairs at them, telling them they knew nothing about football and stuff. And whilst that sort of WWE side of Fergie was extremely enjoyable, I think that Ten Hag handled it all right. It's difficult to get these things wrong though, because you don't get angry, you just sort of say yeah, no, whatever, and just move on to the next one. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it, such as they are.
So anything else to come out from the press conference? Because we've got a comment here about the manager and how he deals with it. It's Big T. He's saying Ten Hag trying to follow in the footsteps of Fergie is like me trying to follow in the footsteps of Gandhi. But when it comes to press conferences, I think he's handled it quite well, in my opinion. From day one, he's always been poised. He never seems ruffled or anything like that by the questions. Maybe he has to have some preparation for it. I don't know. But if he doesn't, and he's doing it off the cuff, I like his style. He did mention today about being at Man United Football Club. It's huge, and you have to win. He repeats this again. We have to aim to win every game. And these answers are straight, like you said, with a straight bat bath time.
The only one he struggled in was the Mason Greenwood one, where he was visibly riled up and maybe not prepared for that. But to be honest, games of football are not won on press conferences. Otherwise, Ralph Ragnick would be Pep Guardiola. And like the thing is that also at 10 o'clock, and it's really annoying. They have an embargoed section where they like have much more interesting stuff to talk about. Whereas, like, I mean, I don't know what people expect from Ten Hag. He can't say anything controversial. He can't really say anything particularly interesting. He gets dragged off the training pitch and is asked a load of stupid questions. And I'm just quite pleased that that the Maguire ones seem to have stopped now, and that we're actually asking about players that might play.
Mr. B, do you think that I've yet to hear him sort of talk tactically? He's always having to sort of, whether it's the Ronaldo saga, whether it's about the Glazers, the journalists are not asking questions that real football nerds like us want to hear about. You know, how's he going to set up tactically? What's it like with the players you got compared to Ajax? You know, what did you feel about your the Premier League? And I want, if I was a journalist, I'd be asking sort of more questions that the Man United agenda would like to hear. Do you know what I mean? But,
they don't care.
Yeah,
Those aren't the questions. Those aren't the questions that make the back pages and make headlines. Talking about formation, you know, if you put Man United in a headline, it's going to sell. You put them on the back page with any picture of any player, it's going to sell. You do that and put a tactics board up, it's not going to sell. They're not interested in that. The news is that Man United are playing crap at the moment, and they're after Ten Hag. They wanted to kill him because of the Maguire situation. I think they must have thought they were going to force him back into playing him. We've sat down here. We knew we wouldn't be picking Harry Maguire. We can maybe not you on Monday, but 90% of the channel probably wouldn't be wanting to be picked. So he's coming every week. Oh, Maguire's no, he's not playing. Make up an excuse. Now they don't, as half times, they don't talk about Maguire no more because he's not news. Everybody knows that Ten Hag wanted him out of the club and he stayed. That was the story for before pre-season. The season started. Maguire might get some game time, but in January he's got to be gone. And he I don't know what idea he had of what he thought was going to happen about playing himself into the side. We knew he wasn't going to be playing himself into the side, regardless of the injuries that they've got. He's going to be very, very limited to his game time. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Sure. I think what we do now, we make it a habit to watch the press conferences before games and after games as well. Because it's great to get some insight into the manager and what's being said, and sometimes reading through the line. And these attacks, as I say in here, we've got one from UK Strange saying scum media for sure, like Mr. B was just saying. And Uncle Dubious is saying here, 90% of questions are drama based, and they wonder why they have less viewers than the fan channels out here. What do you think about that? I mean, yeah, less viewers than the fan channels.
I mean, it's very different in it because, like, if you're a journalist, for a start, you want exclusives. And if you say something in a press conference, it's not exclusive, is it? Like, all of your peers or competitors are there. And they're not, like, newspapers aren't, like, really looking for views and stuff. I think that, like, whilst you might have some issues with the media on some things, I think they're all right with football. Like, they tend to have, like, a higher standard than other parts of the media, and they have relationships and things. Yeah. And because of those relationships, we get fun things like Ollie's interview this week and stuff. Like, I think that the UK press is all right when dealing with football. Maybe not the wider area of things, but I wouldn't, like, just go in and call them scum media. Like, people like our friend Jay Motti are part of, like, the UK media.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we did ask the question before the show. Song titles that describe Man United's season so far. I've got one. It's Queen, another one bites the dust. Talk about our injuries thing. It just seems to be one after the other. Here's one from Vincent. It's saying, Chris Rea, this is the road to hell. Or we could say Lady in Red, the way we're playing our football. Whoops, I shouldn't say that, but yeah. Box is saying they signed about 15 players this season, this summer, and that's Burnley. We saw Nottingham Forest do that last season, and they survived in the league. But Burnley aren't doing so well at the moment. We could talk about them in a minute. Who remembers the Move, 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 Red Tribe, the United song, sung by United players in the 90s of you don't know it on YouTube. If you don't know, it's on YouTube. So it's called Move, 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 Red Tribe, United song. I don't remember that, but I will go and check that out. UK Strange saying bald is beautiful. It certainly is. UK Uncle Dubious, how you doing? He says, "Oi lads, can I just say, let's not expect any changes in starting lineup. Maybe Amrabat and Varane on the bench. We never go full 90 out of the blue. Should win it though." So he's optimistic here. Big T saying here about Fergie, of course, trying to follow in the footsteps, but he's more like Gandhi. Did he just say 10 hound? Who said 10 hound? Was it one of us?
I don't know. Who let the dogs
10
out?
hag. 10 hag. No, I wouldn't say that. Surely it's not me. Maybe it's Mr. B. Black Bolt is saying here, Ralph Ranić would have been an excellent director of football. I agree.
Oh.
I'm gonna fight. Let's move on. People in the chat, give us a like if you don't mind. That's from Solo. What Solo gets. Andrew Williams, how you doing, man? He's saying, what do you think? What do people think about his Burnley game? Well, it's at 8 o'clock for starters, and that's a bit late. First one comes to mind, but we're away from home. And I think we're going to win. We'll come on to that anyway. Matthew Bassett saying, I'm more optimistic about winning the lottery. I don't play the lottery. Uncle Davis again is saying here, press cons are for tabloid rag. 9 out of 10 Gothic questions. Yeah, great comment there. I always save my like until bath time mentions McTominay. Bath time, can you do the honours?
I'm not sure I'll be mentioning McTominay like today. We'll see how it goes, but I'm always up for McTominay chat.
Michael Hill saying stool pigeon. I don't know what that means. It just doesn't sound right to me. I don't know where it's going.
It's like Vincent's English, isn't it?
Andrew Williams saying Burnley is never an easy game. He fancies a 1-1. We've gone down. I think we're ready to whoop Bean. Big T saying here, when asked about Sancho, Ten Hag should have pulled out his phone and gone on FIFA Mobile. Brilliant. The YouTube channel should be asking the question, who gets invited, but they won't, because I want to invite for the next one. You're always welcome, Vincent. All you have to do is just ask. Eric Ten Hag has to manage the team with disglazed ownership. That's a very difficult job. Sancho, Anthony, Greenwood, wowzers, self-inflicted wounds. Was it just bad luck? Has anyone seen Greenwood playing for? Who's he playing for now?
Getafe.
Yeah, I've been watching him. It looks pretty good, to be honest. Doing that little step over. I remember he used to go either way. He can step over, go to the left, go to the right. He's got a good shot on him. He's direct. I appreciate he was young talent. Love you. Saying, what's happening with Amrabat, please? Is he fit to play? I think his injuries, the back injuries, healed, isn't it, Mr. B?
Mm.
Well, him and Mount have been doing individual training this week, so they've been recuperating or whatever it is, rehabilitation training away from the squad. So he might be fit to play, but he won't have had any team training. So I'm not sure if he starts. Okay,
we've got a tune here. Whoops, I did it again. Britney Spears. Song titles that describe Man United starts to the season. Whoops, I did it again. Nick and the Cave, Bad Seeds, People Ain't No Good. I don't know that song. Does anyone know that song? Andrew Williams saying there. No. Here's a song title, UK Strange saying, Mr. B, I can't get no sleep. India Irie, maybe. Mr. B asleep. Vincent saying here, I do have some Man United vinyls. One is red and Dave Saxon's Army. Here's one for you. Johnny Cash Hurt. Don't know that song, but I know this one. Pressure Drop. Toots and the Maytals. Pressure Drop. Pressure Drop.
You don't know Johnny Cash Hurt?
I don't know that song, no. I know Johnny Cash, but I can't think of that song Hurt. Is it good?
I think it's a cover of a 9 Inch Nail songs or something. It's extremely good.
All right, I will check that out. There's a few I need to write down there. Johnny Cash Hurt. Mr. B, you thinking of song titles? Are you going to drop one soon?
I've got one, yeah. Marvin Gaye, What's Happening, Brother? Good tune.
That is a good question as well. What's going on as well? What is going on? We just don't know. Love you saying, I pray United takes in the spirit they used to against Bayern Munich. I know the spirit is really motivational and encouraging for us to win tomorrow's game as well. I want to say hi to WWE 2K. I think Burnley should play a 3-4-2-1. It's time. I think the Burnley we should We should play 3-4-2.
Somebody's been calling. Has it been Reggie calling for 3-2-4? Somebody's been posting 3-2-4-1, 3-4-2-1 for the last the last couple of weeks. To be fair, I'm not sure if it is Reggie or not.
Okay, so his song title, Devil Goes Down in Georgia. That's from Charlie Daniels. 4-0, says Uncle Dubious. We've got Greenwood looking instantly sharp. I do agree, says that's from Big T. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Man, not ma'am, man. Under Pressure songs, yeah. Who does Under Pressure? That was
Queen.
Yeah, of course. And down, stage to go.
Oh,
I get knocked down, but I get up again. I don't know.
Can we have a song title that's going to be about the Renaissance that we're going to have tomorrow when we batter the shit out of Burnley? Come on, let's have some song with some vibes titles for when the somethings go marching in or whatever. Come on now, confidence. Yeah, we've had our hard. I'm confident. Maybe it is that Friday feeling that's kicked in a bit early.
Good.
But I'm very confident that we're going to cause a chaos tomorrow. Everybody's going to shut up. We won't be on the back pages anymore. We'll be on the inside of the newspaper because we've done our job and there's no news.
All right, a couple more before we go into Solo 11. Wind It Up, Prodigy. They were a big band, weren't they? One of my friends went to a concert recently. We've got another one here, Because I Got High. Man. Technically, Under Pressure is a Queen and David Bowie song, says Vincent. Yeah, maybe. Redemption Song from Andrew Williams. That's a Bob Marley tune. We Are the Champions, my friend. Not yet, says Uncle Dubious. Mr. B 1-1 tomorrow. That's from Solo.
Come off.
Montreal MEFC. He's saying here, what do you make about Samuel Lockhurst wrote about what he wrote today? Can Ten Hag ban journalists just like we used to back in the day? Over to you, Bath time.
I absolutely don't want to live in a country without a free press. I think that would be absolute. I hated it that Fergie banned the BBC and stuff like that. Awful. But so what Luckhurst wrote was that some people in the Man United squad are saying that Ten Hag has favourites and that they're rarely criticised and other players are overly criticised. And to my mind, I think that that's probably Lindelof. I think that, like, with Lindelof and Martinez, Lindelof is probably getting blamed for more than Martinez is because there's been some dramatic errors. Maybe Bruno talking about Eriksen, who's been leaking chances a lot. Yeah. But when you have like a poor run of form, cracks form, no one cares when you're winning. Like, if it's a hot day and it's nice and it's sunny, it's great. But when it's raining and like water's coming down and you got buckets everywhere, people are going to be moaning and stuff. And it's like, it's nothing new. It's just human behaviour. But I really don't like the idea of banning someone from the Men or Manchester Evening News from press conferences. I think that that's incredibly juvenile and sets a worrying precedent.
What about, there's a question about leaks, wasn't there, in the journalist today? Can you just enlighten us on that? Because that's been said in the past. I thought there's over and done with leaks in the camp.
I can't actually remember what Ten Hag said about leaks, but I think he didn't really answer the question. He just talks about a collective, which he does.
Did he say that he was that the part where he said he trusts the players? Was that the part when he said he trusted the players? Let me see if I can get the transcript up on that. But yeah, there was a section where he said they're my players and he trusted these players. So I think he sort of shut down that there was rumours of leaks, to be fair.
And there's always going to be leaks at Manchester United. Like,
you're not talking about the stadium, are you?
Well, that as well. But also what you have to remember is that the leaks don't always come from Manchester United players and staff. Like, these guys are already close to other players. And things get around. So Sancho talking to Tammy Abrahams about 5-star skill moves. Tammy Abrahams might tell that to a journalist, and it'd be like off the record and stuff. Like, things like that do happen.
Uncle Doobie said here, I don't know if it's free press argument applies to corporate press conferences. You know, a company informs the media they want to, and it's sports gossip. They're not exactly guarding democracy, are they? 21 in the chat. Let's big up the likes as well, guys. And Big T saying here, I call them press button conferences. The questions are angled, debate, and troll, which is why you need a straight bat, which is the term to be using today. Andrew Williams from Vincent saying here, the 1st of October, I'm actually going to a United game versus Villa. It's at Villa Park. It costs him £12. That's so cheap, so cheap. And the players need much assurance from him to make good saves to motivate them to play well. Onana have to give him hope and the motivation to play wholeheartedly. There was a question about Onana as well, about his confidence, and he just batted that one away straight back because he's basically saying he doesn't need to be dropped. He says it's a team. Said something about the team. He just didn't want to talk about individuals in a way. All right, let's get on to this. Drum roll, please, because every pre-match we have Solo 11. We should have predicted 11 from Solo. If you don't know what Solo is, he's actually in the chat right now joining us. Say hello to Solo. He's the one who set up this channel. He's the cornerstone of this channel. And he's the one who's still, in memory of him, we've still got the Solo 11 running.
in memory of him, like he's dead.
Well, no one knows him. People might not remember him. So we keep his name alive. This Solo 11. And here we go, Mr. B at bath time. Bath time, do the midfield. Mr. B, can you start with the defence? And I'll do the attack. What we got?
Right, well, yeah, I think it makes it easy. Anana's not going to be coming out of goal. Reguilon, first choice. He's first choice left back now with the two that we've got missing. So you know he's going to play. Martinez, Varane. I'm going to assume Solo was 100% confident that he will be back. And obviously we've got Dalot on the right hand side.
Okay, are you happy with that, Mr. B? This is Solo's 11. Do you think he's gone nice and
well, Varane must be fit by now. The fact that he did the press conference, he didn't say they weren't fit. He said they're fit and available to play. Now he knows Varane is our best centre back, and I'm sure Varane would have, if it was a home game, Varane might have been sniffing around a start for the Bayern game. So I'm expecting Varane to start the game, and obviously Martinez, his partner in crime, get that duo back, get that partnership back up and running. Clean sheet incoming.
Nice one. About time, innit? Just before we get into midfield, Montreal FC saying here, I'd move Amrabat into centre DM with Casemiro, would take care of the left centre midfield position. So he's saying drop Amrabat deeper and Casemiro in the left centre left as a number 8.
Yeah,
left
I'm playing that.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely not playing that.
Okay,
what are you talking about?
You're the midfielder here on the panel, Bath Time. Can you address what the Solo 11 is saying and just add what you think should be done?
Right. The Solo 11 positionally is fine, having Casemiro central. You would actually swap you'd swap Amrabat and Fernandes around. You cannot have Casemiro at left or right centre midfield because of the amount of covering that he has to go and do. He has to play central, and you're moving your two most energetic midfielders around to get an immobile player. If you look at Rashford and Casemiro on the left protecting the channel would be an absolute disaster. Casemiro has to be central, or we will get absolutely ran through all the time. I'm absolutely fine with the midfield that Solo's put up, but I suspect that instead of Amrabat, it will be Eriksen again.
Okay.
I don't think Amrabat's fit enough, Mr. B. He's trained by himself all week. He hasn't trained with the team.
Surely he's seen what Eriksen's been doing. Give Amrabat a half or 60 minutes for us to change the game and then bring Eriksen on to see the game out.
What about McTominay for Eriksen?
No thanks.
McTominay started the game the other day, didn't he?
He
came on the game.
No, didn't he start against Bayern Munich?
He started against Brighton. He played against Brighton.
Yeah, and half of Bayern. See, who knows?
But yeah, I mean, that midfield would be all right, and it might be the one that Ten Hag is moving towards. And I'd like to see it start, but I don't think that Amrabat is fit enough or match sharp enough to start. He hasn't played football for 4 or 5 months, and he doesn't appear to have trained like with any other team than Morocco. So I'll be quite surprised to see him start tomorrow.
All right, bath time. We're going to keep with you on this one, on midfield.
All right.
So a few questions. Casemiro would play like a number 8 on the chart. That's what Montreal's saying here. And Uncle Dubis is saying Amrabat will be sitting behind Bruno and Casemiro, but he won't start. I don't think Varane will either. So he's another one here from Lucky Singh. How you doing? It says Varane. This is female's his sister. And Amrabat, I need in tomorrow. Hannibal and Casemiro as well. What do you think about Hannibal? He's stepped up against Brighton, came on. Do you think he's close to getting a starting spot in the squad? Bath time.
I don't know, because like I've seen Hannibal play twice for sort of 20 minutes, and one was against Liverpool where he nearly got sent off, and then he came on and scored a goal. Like I think he looks energetic and he looks good, and I think he deserves a chance, but he's a long way down in that pecking order. Like you'd think of all the midfielders we have, he's the last choice. Like Mainu, Ericsson, McTominay will all be ahead of him, I would think. And I wonder if he should have like been sent out on loan if we're not going to use him. But in terms of like the 8s, what have we got? We've got Casemiro as a 6, we've got Manu as a 6, and we got McTominay. I'm not even sure he's considered a 6 anymore.
No.
But Hannibal's not a 6. So for the 8s, we got Amrabat, Bruno, Ericsson, McTominay, Mount, and Hannibal, and I think he's at the bottom of that queue.
Isn't Amrabat a 6?
I think Amrabat is a sort of a utility player. I wouldn't put him as just a 6 because I think that he can play in the left or right central midfield positions. I think he can play fullback as well. But in terms of pure 6s, it's really just Casemiro.
All right, a couple of comments here before we go into the strikers or the forward line. Montreal saying here, Rashford better put a shift on tomorrow, or we will restart the starter Garnacho experiment again. No McTominay, and we mentioned McTominay. That means we've got a like from Big T.
Thanks, Big T.
Yeah, thank you. It came out eventually. Ask what's happening with Mainu. We don't know. I don't know anyway.
He's back on pitch. He's back on grass.
Oh, really?
He's back on grass. He's been sprinting on the grass. So okay. I'm giving that another week and a half, another 7 days, and I think he'll be back with the full squad.
Matthew Bass has got a similar squad here, or starting lineup to the solo 11. He's actually the same. Yeah, he's actually the same. He's got the same squad. Lucky Singh, how you doing? He said, I want mentality players. Stay focused for 90 minutes. I agree. Hannibal, Varane, Casemiro, Bruno, Reguilon, Ramos, Holland.
I think Matthew Bassett. Sorry, Amanda. I think Matthew Bassett had dropped Rashford in the team that he put up. Yes, he's got Pellistri and Garnacho.
Okay. Good eyes. All right. Can we talk about the forward line then? Because he's gone. This is Solo. Solo's gone with. He's gone with Pellistri on the right, who started the other day. Was that a surprise, guys, from you, Mr. B, that Pellistri started against Bayern Munich?
It's the only option we had. It's the only option he had. I think he's realised that he can't move Bruno. We don't have the players to move Bruno. And I think when we do, Bruno's going to be the one that stays in his position. He's not going to be the one that's going to be moved. I don't think we had another option other than to play Pellistri. And he did okay.
Will he start 2 games in a row then with what Solo's going with here?
Yeah, I think so.
What does he bring? I mean, what do you like about him? I mean, there's a big ask coming in against Munich, but I don't think he let us down. But what do you think about him? Is he ready for this sort of senior football?
I'm not sure he is ready on Monday. I'll be honest. I'm not sure he is ready. But he will give 100% effort, and his ability is a lot higher than some of the people who have been playing on the pitch. So I would give him another chance. I mean, the thing is, you can't throw him in against Bayern, who are a top-level team, and then we've got Burnley, and he's not playing. What game is he more likely to? You know what I mean? What game is he more likely to be able to prove his ability in? You know, so I hope he gets a start. He might not get a run in the team, unless he does something great, because I'm hearing that Mount's the earmarking Mount to take that right-hand side position long term. But yeah, I think he deserves to start, and I hope he impresses tomorrow.
Right, Bart, I'm over to you with this Pellistri position, and just talk about the other two as well. We've got Rashford and Rashford and Rasmus.
All right. With those two, Rashford and Rasmus, I expect both. I know it's it's contagious. It's called Wernicke's disease. Actually, it's not. It's called Broca's disease. But anyway, I think that those two are nailed on to start. Like, I don't think we'll see Martial start, even though I thought he did all right when he came on. But he's I just think he needs to be managed for his fitness, and you can't, after scoring a goal in the Allianz, you can't not have Rasmus start. Rashford, he's got a 400k a week contract. He will play every game that he is fit until. I'd love to know what he has to do not to start. But with Pellistri, it's a bit difficult because Pellistri's had 2 starts in his career. So, like, with probability, you'd expect that he wouldn't start. I think that Mount is going to take his place. So if Mount is fit, I think that Mount will play right wing. And I don't think that Pellistri had a bad game. I don't think he had a good game, but I'm not sure he did enough to really sort of like make Ten Hag rethink what he's going to do. So if we see Pellistri start, I think it's his last chance under Ten Hag. Like with Mount, who is like Mount's a Ten Hag signing, he'll play every game that he's fit. I think Pellistri's really got to pull something out of the bag to basically remain a Manchester United player tomorrow. So I'm and I really hope he does, because I like him. I think he works hard. He reminds me a lot of Dan James, but I don't think he's had enough top level football, because someone with more experience, I think, could have got 2 goals against Bayern in his position.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's really close. Back post, nice passes there across the corridor of uncertainty. He should have been on the end of those. I felt the first one could have been a penalty when Davis.
Of course you did.
And it was, Davis came through his legs to get the ball. Oh man, come on.
Just more top-level Champions League experience and the real cutting edge. And I think that Pellistri could have done something, but I don't think he's had enough top-level football. I don't think he's particularly wanted by Ten Hag, and I think that if he plays tomorrow, it's out of necessity instead of like anything he's done. And I think it might be one of the last times we see him. I do. I think that Mount's going to take that position. I think our priority will be right wing loan signing in January, and I think that if Wan-Bissaka was playing, I think that Delot would probably be picked ahead of Pellistri in that position. I don't think the manager rates him, I think that unless he performs tomorrow, you'll see him you won't see him again, basically.
I think that's bad coaching. If that's the case, I think that's bad management, because he kept him in the squad. Maybe he has been forced to play him, but let him take his wings. Rashford was thrown in at the deep end, and look how he did. He wasn't dropped. He's now on 375 grand a week. So I'm hoping he does cause something to give the manager a little bit of a headache tomorrow.
Before we move on, Mr. Beak, can we just have like an update, because our new striker, we have to sort of keep tabs on him. How's he getting on?
Well, he scored 2 in. Well, let's say he scored 2. He scored 1, and he hit the back of the net in another game. He's a goal scorer, as Bath Time was saying. Ugly goals. Those ugly, scrappy centre forward goals. Those are the goals that Man United players don't score. And he's coming and he's got one off his what's the outside with that bobbled in the net. So I'm all for him playing. I'm all for him playing and starting. We heard, his back's gone and he can't play 2 games a week. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Because if he doesn't start, then at least we know that what the press and all of the rumours they've been talking about is true. So I hope he starts. I hope he gets another hour or 70 minutes. And then Martial comes on and gets his 20 minutes not injured.
I'm quite pleased. I'm quite pleased, to be honest, with what I've seen so far. I mean, he's got that passion, that energy, that running power. And like you say, he's making moves in the box, which is what you want to see.
They're not great runs, though, Amondo.
Did you see the one where against Bayern Munich, where Rashford squared it and he sort of made a near post run and tried to get where he didn't get the ball? I think, was that Bayern Munich game? Or was it Brighton? Maybe
it was Brighton.
Going back to Brighton. Yeah, it was Brighton. I saw a nice little movement in the box, but he just didn't get in the end of it. So you're saying they're not great runs?
Yeah, like I'm not. What I think is that sometimes we overestimate and underestimate things, and I've been wondering. Like, I've seen quite a lot of clips of like people saying, Rashford should have done this or should have done that," and a lot of the time it looks like Højlund to me is moving too soon. Like and maybe that's a tactical thing, and they're making space for a box crasher or something like that. But he's not underlapping at the right time. He's going across the box a little bit too early. And if you compared it to someone like Cavani, he used to like almost incubate that space. He used to leave it there, ready to attack. And I wonder if Højlund just doesn't have the because he's a young player, and I've got nothing against him. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying that I think he needs to just be a little bit. I think he needs to think about his runs a bit more, because everything is happening at such a pace that when Rashford gets the ball, doesn't know Rashford's game, he's just straight off.
Yeah.
He's like, you've got to have this thing called tactical empathy, where you understand that a player's going to take 2 touches instead of 1 touch or whatever and move across. It could be just getting to know his teammates. But I also would expect someone like Benny McCartney, our striking coach, to tell him that actually, instead of going fast, he's got to go a bit slower.
Okay.
And just leave the space.
Montreal saying here, the way Højlund scored that goal is something that can't be taught. It's old school, pure instinct. That you find less and less with number 9s these days. Big T saying here, Højlund is minty fresh piece of gum in a bad mouth. That's a good one. We've got Uncle Dubious saying, I like the scrappiness of our goals, plural, against Bayern Munich. Yes, we did score 3. And we've got Big T saying here, Højlund moving too soon to try to instigate. We play reactive and think Haaland is proactive. DM Vlog saying, free to join in 10 minutes. We're finishing up. You come on, we book you before the show. So maybe one show next week. We arrange it for you to come on. Or, what's he saying here? Or the Mr. B show at 10 p.m. DM Vlogs wants in.
He can do that, but I have no idea where to send him the link for the
Okay.
I'm not posting it in here to have a full screen of people. So this needs to be organized properly, DM. You know what day we're on? We're on every day, Monday to Friday. So we need to work it out properly. We need to get somewhere where we can contact you first. So we just don't throw it out there. And then we'll get you on. That's no stress. We said that already. That's no headache.
Okay, so secret link that's only available for VIP members, and that'd be you, DM Vlogs, coming on. All right, prediction time. Let's get this quick. 8 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. I'm going first. I think Burnley, when you look at their results, let me just go through them. So Burnley, they're new to the Premier League. They're not the Burnley of old, where they were big units. They're playing a bit more football this time. It worked in the Championship, but it hasn't worked just yet. But they could get better. They lost at home to Villa 3-1, first game. Then they lost 3-0 to City at home, and that was Company's big game against Pep, his old manager. And they didn't stand a chance in that game. Then they drew away from home. This is the best result so far against Forest. They got a 1-1 draw away from home. So that was their first point on the board. And then they lost 5-2 against Spurs, and that was at home. So they're not doing too well. 1 draw. And it's not crisis yet, but maybe they need to get a bit tougher and go back to the old Burnley ways to get results. because the way they're playing football match against these Premiership sides, it's not working for them at the moment. So I reckon we can go there tomorrow, and it's a different Burnley. We're not going to get physically matched. It's not Ben Mee coming in on corners and beating guys up and that sort of thing. It's going to be they're going to try and beat us from football. Now that's why I think we've got an opportunity to beat them hard. If Spurs can score 5 against them, City can score 3, and Villa can score 3. I reckon we can beat them 2-0. So I'm going to go for 2-0 win at Burnley tomorrow. Turf Moor, isn't it? Turf Moor. And it's not too far to travel. Do you want to say hi to King Stash before I come on to you guys? Well, we'll win if we keep it simple and stay disciplined, he's saying, and composed. Even if we concede, we've got to fight till the end. Not just 20 minutes, but 90 minutes. Glory, glory, Man United. Big up King Stash, and thanks again for that $5. So he's saying fight for 90 minutes and we will win. And keeping it simple and disciplined as well. Thank you so much, King Stash. Over to you two guys. Prediction time. Give us a little summary as well. Why you back? Why you sort of go your score? Before you do, once more, DM Vlogs 199. Say I messaged you on Instagram, so can send a link in the DMs there.
Oh right, okay, got him now.
Got it. Okay. So while Mr. B's doing that, bath time, scoreline, and reason why, please.
Oh, I'm nervous, Amonde, for this game because I hate double away games. Away in Europe and then away in the Premier League at 8 o'clock at night. That is not a good mix with our form. I can't lie, I know bugger all about Burnley, but I know our team. And our team's not performing. And I would actually prefer to play a physical low-block team at the moment rather than a progressive team looking to exploit the space around the D. I think we'll win, but Burnley have had a lot of time to prepare. I think that we might get a 1-0 or a 2-0, and it to be a much tighter and harder game than people are expecting.
So you're going with a 1-0 or
1-0, I think, yeah.
1-0 away from home win. Okay.
Yeah.
And thanks for the reason as well. 2 away games in a row doesn't look good for Man United. So, Mr. B, over to you. Prediction and why?
We're going to batter them.
Good.
We're going to batter them. There's no way Burnley are going to hold Højlund tomorrow. Rashford tomorrow. This is the start of our guaranteed 12 points. 4 games, four Premier League games. I'm expecting 12 points before we back up on City. I think that'll be the perfect response. We'll then have a few players back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually going 3-0. I'm actually confident of a 3-0 tomorrow. 3-1 at a push, but we're 100% going in there to cause 3 goals. And then Saturday night, there's going to be no back page press because we're going to have done the job that we were supposed to do. Impressively, mind. Impressively. 3-0.
That's a big score. I like that one. I love your confidence as well, by the way, Mr. B. Guys, song titles to describe our season so far. I've got one. Derek Harriott, I Was Born a Loser.
What about ABBA, Voulez-Vous? It's VAR.
Yeah. What's the Voulez-Vous stand? What's it mean again in French?
Will you? In the polite form.
Okay. And Mr. B, do you have any song titles for us, or are you still waiting?
No, I gave you one. I only gave you one. I'm not giving you any more. I'll have a song title for tomorrow. I will have a little dance when we've hit 4 or 5.
All right. Well,
is there a watch along tomorrow or a reaction show?
There will be a reaction show, 100%. The watch along we will decide as the day goes, but we'll definitely have it's going to be a late reaction show. I might not necessarily be in the place where I'm supposed to be, but I will definitely be hitting a button at some stage.
I have to watch the boxing tomorrow, so I will watch the game and then quickly switch over to the boxing.
We'll work it out. Listen, it might be a midnight reaction show.
Yeah, well, I can go with that.
That would be very fun. To be honest,
we can do what we want. It's our channel. It's our house. Yeah. If we wanted to do a midnight reaction show, we do a midnight reaction. Take it into the early hours of Sunday morning. Why not? It might be a bit of a car crash, but who cares?
Yeah, let's just do it. We'll work it out. Mr. B, can you just let us know what's happening at 10 p.m. tonight, guys?
Oh shit! Yeah, we got the takeaway in half hour. We got a special guest who's going to be VN Vlogs. I'll let you know now, bruv. Let's hope you got a camera and a mic. I actually want to see what you look like. Look, I've told you what time to get on. I've sent you the link. Look, there you go. Look, he's answered me already. So yeah, VN Vlogs will be making his takeaway debut tonight. Good luck, my friend. And if you're shit, you won't be coming back on. Now, not really. I didn't. No pressure. No pressure.
All right, boxing reaction shows. Yeah, maybe, just maybe. All right, that's enough from us tonight. It's been a good show. Hopefully, we've got that confidence with Mr. B and we win 3-0 tomorrow. 8 o'clock kickoff. Still don't understand that. Great press conference by the manager as well. We got Mount and Varane possibly on their way back into the squad. And we're playing a team coming up from relegation. And we're playing away from home and against a team that's not in the top 9. So that could mean a win, judging by all these data they give you about we haven't beat a team in the top 9 since whenever away from home. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Make sure you tune in Saturday night. We might be doing a watch along, but most importantly, go and watch the game and tune in for later for the reaction show as well. For everyone who's tuned in today, appreciate you. Thanks for the $1.99. Thanks for the $4, $5 here as well. Really great stuff. And tune in at 10 p.m. for Mr. B and the Takeaway Show. Now, I'm going to take this away. Last song title. Anyone want to throw one out there?
Jay-Z featuring Linkin Park. I tried so hard and I got so far, but in the end,
like the song?
Yeah, it didn't really matter.
All right, we go with that. That's good. That's good. All right, and I need to. What's the one? Johnny Cash and
Hurt.
All right, I'm going to go and check that out on YouTube right now, and then I'm going to tune in at 10 p.m. for the takeaway. Thanks, guys. God bless, and we will see you tomorrow. Night, night.